Today we're going to be breaking down the Battlefield 6 meta using a pro-grade formula. I've analyzed the core automatic weapons, assault rifles, SMGs, LMGs, and carbines, and ranked them using two key pillars: pure time to kill between 0 and 50 meters, and a full handling profile that includes recoil control, mobility, aim down sights, reload speed, and precision. I'm crunching the numbers to see on paper which weapons stand above the rest. I'm sure there'll be a lot of disagreements on the order of this list, and that is great. Let me know where your favorite weapon lands and if you think there's any merit to these rankings. And if you enjoy the video, please consider subscribing. I'm just getting started here on YouTube. Every like, comment, and subscription goes a long way. Without further ado, let's go through the top 10 weapons according to the math. How I got this data was I basically found a community post that had a file that had been data mined from the source. Take everything with a grain of salt. But basically I took all that data, I plugged it into an AI model, and I had the AI model apply a pro meta analysis to the data, and that's what we got here. So the time to kill score, the handling score, and this creates a ranked list where the guns are weighted TTK from 0 to 50 meters with close range TTK carrying most of the weight because that's where most of Battlefield 6 gunfights happen. So the KV-9 kills faster than anything else in the close to mid game around that 30 meter mark, and that's why we're seeing it at the top of the list. Not really saying I agree with that necessarily, but that's just what the math is telling us. This is going to be a theoretical list, and the effective list after you get all the attachments and everything put on may be a little bit different. So that's the beauty of this. This is just a starting point. But with that, let's go ahead and test some of these weapons at the top of the list and see how they perform. Starting off with number 10, we have the L110 LMG. Does 25 damage. This is weapon tier A. Average DPS of 281.3. Metascore 0.58. Handling score of 445. TTK score 0.638. Let's take the L110 into the firing range and test it out. The L110 is something that I use mostly for Red Sec. It's not a normal choice for me at all, so I'll need to give this one some more attention, that is for sure. Coming in at number 9, we have the M4A1. This is a tier A, 25 damage, fast ADS at 200, leans towards the TTK over handling. It's got a metascore of 0.592, a handling score of 0.452, and a TTK score of 0.652. Average DPS coming in at 291, which is 10 more than the L110. Okay, so really quickly, I just want to explain what I mean by TTK score, just in case you're wondering. I know that I'm throwing out a lot of terms and numbers here, but TTK is just time to kill that's been averaged over all the ranges from 0 to 50 meters. Then you have the handling score, which takes into account all the precision and all the things that go into that, all the weapon stats. And then you have the meta score, which basically is looking at both of those scores. So 70% of that being scored to the TTK, the time to kill, and 30% of that being scored to the handling score. So if you want a more in-depth explanation as to the formula that I'm using, I am going to post the entire thread down below in the description, so feel free to check that out. If you have more questions, just ask me in the comments. I'm happy to explain anything that you want. The M4A1 is one of my favorite weapons, and this was my favorite weapon in the beta, but I have been using other guns after the full release. This weapon is dear to my heart, and I'll always love it. I was not surprised to see it in the top 10 at all. Coming in at number 8, we have the Cord 6P67. This is a tier A, 20 damage, very fast ADS at 250, leans towards handling over TTK just because of the less damage. It's got a metascore of 0.602, a handling score of 0.642, and a TTK score of 0.584. The average DPS for this weapon is 334.6, which is 43.2 more than the M4A1. I have only used this weapon a few times. I can totally see why it's on this list though. The handling on the cord is fantastic. This gun rips for sure, so it does make sense to me. Next up is number 7, the M240L. This is a tier A at 33 damage, slow ADS at 433, and has one of the lowest handling scores but one of the highest TTK scores. The meta score is coming in at 0.637, handling score of 0.169, and a TTK of 0.838. The average DPS coming in at 185.7, which is 148 less than the cord. This is another weapon I have not played with a whole lot. I was surprised to see it here, but what that means to me is that I've been sleeping on this thing, and if any of you have maxed this out, let us know how it runs in the comments. I'm really curious to see how good this is when it's maxed out. Coming in at number 6, we have the M433, a tier A with 25 damage, 250 fast ADS, a meta score of 0.640, a handling score of 0.282, TTK of 0.794, and an average DPS of 258, which is 109 more than the 240L. It's a pretty low handling score, but definitely a pretty great TTK score. I love this weapon and use it a good amount. I think the recent update has really helped the effective handling on this as well, so I'm excited to try it out more. Coming in at number 5, we have the DRS IAR. This is a tier A+, 25 damage, slow ADS at 367, but you can get to 200 with attachments. Leans toward TTK for sure. Metascore of 0.647, handling of 0.486, TTK of 0.716. Average DPS of 260, which is only 1.5 more than the M433. This is my favorite weapon in the game. I was drawn to it the first day of release, and it was the first gun I mastered. It has been collecting dust sadly a little bit while I use the other amazing guns in the game, but this gun has a special place in my heart, and I am glad that the math agrees. Number 4 is the SCW-10. It's the first tier S on the list, 33 damage, 167 ADS, metascore of 0.667, handling score of 0.365, TTK of 0.796, average DPS of 225.4, which is 34 less than the DRS. I have not used this gun much. I have seen a lot of players say that this is the best gun in the game, and I think it definitely could be so. I'm not surprised to see it this high on the list at all. In the number 3 spot, we got the M123K. This is another tier S, 25 damage, low ADS at 433, has a metascore of 0.687, handling score of 0.437, TTK score of 0.794, and an average DPS of 278, which is 53 more than the SCW-10. I have used this LMG quite a bit and have been using the 1.5 Grim Thermal. This gun absolutely shreds. I was a little surprised to see it this high on the list, honestly, but it's understandable having used it. In the number 2 spot, we have the TR7, Tier S, 33 damage, 250 ADS, but has the worst handling of all guns, and then has the best TTK of all guns. Metascore of 0.7, handling score of 0, TTK score of 1, average DPS of 238.9, which is 40 less than the M123K. I just started testing out the TR7. I think the math is right on the money here. When I hit, they go down, but hitting them is the problem. You really need to be smart about your attachments for this weapon to optimize and negate recoil as much as possible. And finally, that brings us to the number 1 spot, which goes to the KV9. Tier S, 25 damage, 167 ADS, has an above average handling score at 0.598 and has a crazy high TTK at 0.819, all thanks to that rate of fire. Metascore coming in at 0.752, and the average DPS 242.7, which is only 3.8 more than the TRS. I have been using this weapon non-stop since I found out it was on top of the list. This, I feel, is deserved. This weapon absolutely shreds. People will get multiple hits on you and you can turn around and melt them. It's insane. And the burst fire can be very accurate, up to about 50 meters. I had no idea what I was getting myself into by starting this video, but I had a lot of fun doing it. Please let me know what you think in the comments below. If you got value out of this video, please consider subscribing. And that's all I got for you guys today. Thank you so much for stopping by, and I'll see you in the next one.